dynamic for just about 3 minutes, so it won't take long, but I want to give you some things to think about. And first, hats off to the presenters. Congratulations on the amazing work that you're doing. So real quick, true false question. More rhetorical than actual, but true false question. Number one, investing in research and development is a good predictor of innovation outcomes. True or false? I can hear you all now. It's all false, right? Absolutely. Investing is not a predictor of outcome. It just means we're spending money. Number two, true or false? Far too many innovation programs fail to deliver desired results. What do you think, true or false? We would say true, right? True. Think of all of the investments that all of you investors online here are making in the entrepreneurs that we're hearing from. Think of all the investments in innovation and how many prototypes, products, services fall in that valley of death. They never see the light of day. It's hundreds of millions of them. And part of the reason for that is we get lost in this messy middle, right, where the real work occurs. So we get the investment and we generate another prototype, we create another idea, it's a great idea, we ideate, we create, we think, we process, and we do it as long as the funding comes in hopes that there's an impact. But in between is where the hard work is the messy middle. And you know better than anyone that innovation is a balance between the creativity and discipline. So we have to have both. We want the ideation, we want the creativity, we want the brainstorming, okay? But we've got to have the discipline to do the work required of the messy middle to increase the odds that our innovations are going to actually pay off and that the investments in the innovations pay off. And this discipline includes the discipline of evaluation. I know it's exciting, right? But we've got to have it because too often we think investment and outcome. We're trying to leap over the valley of death. We think we have the funds and the resources. We create the new prototype in hopes that it has an impact. But in fact, there's a process to getting to that impact. And that process is what we call the value chain. As we implement new products, services, innovations, there's a chain of value that occurs. And it begins with when you immediately launch the idea, getting that buy-in from the people who need to make it work. Evaluating to make sure they are bought in. Do they get it? Are they committed to doing what you want them to do, the way you want them to do it, to make sure that your innovation works? It's important. And that is a predictor that people will do what you want them to do. Learning. Do people know what they need to know to do what you want them to do? That could be training on your team. That could be training, development, insights based on data to those users of the product or service. It could be information that those customers need to make the purchase. People need to know what they need to know to do what you want them to do. That is a predictor that people will do it. And then there's application, actually evaluating to see are all the processes working. Now, many of you doing the presentations that I've heard today, many of you are already doing that. But it's sometimes a part of the process that is really looking to see, are people doing what we want them to do? Are they following the steps? Are they following the process? Are they behaving the way we want them to behave? Are they connecting with us the way we want them to connect with us? Are they doing it? Reaction, learning, application are predictors of impact. What we call level zero, the inputs, the investment is not. Investment is just investment. More is more is not better. The question is, can we get a better investment? Meaning, can we get the investment and design and deliver a prototype or a product that really has a chance of working? To do that, we want to check in. We want to collect data. Are people bought in? Do they know what they need to know? And are they doing what we want them to do? And if they are, we've just increased the chances that we're going to have an impact. Impact is improvement of measures of output, quality, cost, time, maybe customer satisfaction. Maybe it's community impact, societal outcomes. Maybe it's environmental outcomes. The impact is the so what of people doing what you want them to do. Are you implementing your process, designing your product more efficiently than in the past? Is your product delivering environmental outcomes such that it's making a significant difference? Okay. And then the next question is, how do you know that the impact you claim to be delivering is really due to your innovation and not something else? It's part of the discipline of evaluation. The last question is it really worth it? Is there a return on investment for the project, the product, the service that you're delivering? Is there greater value in that innovation than what it costs to innovate it? And a lot of people will say, well, how does ROI fit into this? Folks, we've got to do well with the resources bestowed upon us if we're going to do good. That is the beauty of ROI. So when we think about the discipline of evaluation, we've got to think about the full chain of value. By improving along this value chain, we are improving the odds that our innovations are going to pay off. People have to buy in. They have to know what it is they need to know to do what we want them to do. And we have to measure the impact. Impact important to organizations, impact important to communities, and impact important to the environment. And then if we want to know the ROI, we simply put a monetary value on that impact, compare it to the cost, and demonstrate that we're doing good by the resources bestowed upon us. So my call to action to all of you out there, and to you investors, especially when you're working with potential entrepreneurs that you want to back, let's clean up the messy middle. And that includes cleaning up the messy middle of evaluation. Build the discipline of evaluation into the innovation process. Build it in. Let's increase the chances that the investments made in our products and services can add the value that we hope they will. So, final shot. Let's do well in order for us to do good. Okay? Thanks so much for letting me have a few minutes of your